helmet just like jerked my neck down. So I think that rev bombing is one of the dumbest things you can do on a motorcycle. Now let me explain. Rev bombing is when you pull in the clutch. So while you're moving, obviously, you pull in the clutch and then you just rev up the bike to make noise. Right? Something kind of like this. Okay? Obviously my bike's not that loud, but nonetheless, that's what a rev bomb is. And I think it's the dumbest thing that people do on motorcycles. Okay? I think it's one of the stupidest things you can do. Now I will preface this by saying that most of my opinion on this matter comes from DDFM. I think he thinks similarly, and so it's stupid because it really has nothing practical about it, okay? So in essence, what the hope is when rev bombing is to get another driver's attention, okay? That's what people try to do with rev bombing. They got someone that's cutting them off, or, you know, like switching into their lane, maybe like getting a little bit too close to them, whatever it may be, okay? So they rev bomb to try and get their attention. Hopefully this cop doesn't pull me over. Should be good. I was only going like a couple miles an hour over, but we'll see. Oh, I actually thought he was turning around for a second. So they're trying to get attention. It's basically like similar to your horn. It's something that makes noise to get attention of drivers. So all things aside, the horn, or even the horn, is not the best idea in red stage situations. Red stage situations where you have to make an emergency maneuver to get yourself out of the way, get yourself out of the danger zone, okay? Even the horn is not the best idea for situations like this. But I'm going to first explain why the horn is much better than rev bombing. In the case of my bike, the horn is probably louder and more effective than a rev bomb is going to be. Okay? But I do know some people have, you know, pretty fast, big bikes, you know, that a rev bomb is pretty dang loud. However, you are crippling yourself if you rev bomb. You are pulling in the clutch, cutting the power to the rear wheel. That's first and foremost what you're doing, okay? When you pull the clutch in, you're cutting power to the rear wheel. So the only thing, you only have one option. Instead of two, you now only have one option in terms of forward or backwards movement, okay? You cannot accelerate. You can only brake. That's a cripple that I do not like. Why would you want to cripple yourself by not being able to accelerate? Even if it's for a split second that you pull the clutch in and rev bomb. It doesn't make sense to cripple yourself and take away one of the things that the bike is very, very good at, accelerating, going forward, okay? You should not do that, because when you pull the clutch in, say it's for just a half second to a second to rev bomb, okay? That half second to a second, you could have opened up the throttle just a little bit more and gotten out of the way. You could have swerved, okay? Trying to swerve while you're rev bombing just sounds like a pain in the ass to me. Like, that sounds like something that's going to be very hard to do. You're trying to do two things at once. It's much like you learn in the, you know, motorcycle safety, right? You can't swerve and brake at the same time. Now, that's a little bit different, but you know, because braking and swerving at the same time, physics-wise, doesn't really work, right? That's how you tip your bike over pretty easily. But nonetheless, if you're pulling in the clutch in rev bombing, trying to swerve, or even brake for that matter, is going to be more difficult to do because you're focused on rev bombing. And at the same time, you have your clutch in, so you're crippled. You can't even go forward. Okay? So that's kind of like why I think even just the horn is better than rev bombing, nor why I would never think of rev bombing even. So now, why it's really not important anyways to use the horn or rev bombing is that you have to get yourself out of the way. There is no point in trying to get the other driver's attention if they're already past the point of no return. If you are at a point where that driver is going to hit you if you do not make an evasive maneuver, or there's going to be some type of collision if you do not make an evasive maneuver, why would you try to get the driver's attention still? Their attention does not matter. They've already made that action, okay? You need to get yourself out of the way. And hitting the horn is not going to get you out of the way. All that does is take up time and, you know, mental power to think of doing that. I mean, not like it takes much, but you know what I mean. It is the dumbest thing ever. Save yourself first. Do not rely on other people to try and fix the problems that they've created. Okay? It's simple, right? Why would you try to get the attention of someone else when they have caused danger for you? You need to get yourself out of the way, get yourself into a safe position, then notify them by using the horn, okay? So swerve first, brake first, accelerate first, get yourself out of the way, evasive maneuvers first, then, only then, use the horn, okay? This is a simple thing that DDFM talks about a lot, all right? Get yourself out of the danger zone first, make a reg stage evasive maneuver, and then you can notify someone. But do not rely on other people to get out of the way for you, because they've already made a mistake. Okay? So that being said, I urge every single rider to not try and get in the habit of rev bombing. Do not let yourself, do not teach yourself, do not become comfortable with rev bombing, okay? Because then if you do it continuously, just on the road, you know, minor things that don't ever really end up being accidents, you know, stuff where you have to honk the horn, occasions like that, don't rev bomb, because then you're going to get used to doing it. And then in a dire situation where you have to make a split-second decision, your reflexes kick in, and that's what you're going to do, and it's going to get you in an accident. 99 times out of 100, a rev bomb is going to be ineffective as compared to making an evasive maneuver, okay? Even if it does get somebody's attention, it usually doesn't matter, because they've already made a mistake or done something that they can't really correct quickly enough. They can't react and correct quickly enough, right? So why would you rely on someone else? And I mean, you have so many factors at play there. They might be an elder person that can't hear as well. They could be deaf. Deaf people drive. It happens. Okay? There's so many factors that are out of your control. You might as well not try and do that, okay? So, do not rev bomb. Don't get in the practice of doing it, because then you'll habitually do it, and then it's going to get you in an accident. It's simple. It's simple. Minor stuff, use the horn. It's easier, it's quicker, it's usually better. And you know what it comes down to, in my opinion? People like to act cool. A rev bomb is more intimidating, and it makes the driver feel more stupid for what they've done, because it's a louder noise. You know, it's almost an angry sounding tone, if that makes sense. And I think that makes bikers feel good about themselves. But I don't get that. Like, why? Why do you think you need to intimidate that person for making a mistake? Everybody makes mistakes on the road, some more than others, but you know, that's a matter of something else. That's not really the point of this video. I mean, people make mistakes, so why would you need to be more intimidating and make them feel like a piece of junk by just rev bombing really loud at them? And then, you know, I could make a whole nother video on it about people, you know, flipping them off or doing something, you know, getting mad at them, getting hung up on the fact that someone just made a mistake, looking behind them, not focused on the road in front of them. Get yourself out of the way and get on with your way. If there was nothing, if nothing happened, just keep going. Man, I'm starting to get mad talking about this. But anyways, don't rev bomb. Please don't get in the habit of it. It's not effective logically. Okay, so I hope you guys found this informational somewhat, and I hope this message makes sense, and I hope you kind of hold it to heart, you know, not to get into bad practices like that. Okay, so take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace out.